They were once the talk of the football world, young stars with the potential to dominate for years to come. Coaches, fans, and even the media had their eyes on them, and the future looked incredibly bright. But somewhere along the way, things didn't quite go as planned. The hype faded, and those early dreams of greatness turned into questions of what went wrong. These players had the talent, the skill, and the promise. So what exactly happened? How did those Wonder Kids, who were once on track to be the next big thing, end up falling short of expectations? Stick around and let's dive into the rise and fall of these once promising footballing stars. You won't believe where they are now. All right, let's talk about Ben Woodburn. Remember him? The kid who burst onto the scene at just 17 years old with Liverpool, scoring his first goal in the EFL Cup. Back then, he was the talk of the town. Not just because of his age, but because of his sheer potential. He was versatile, creative, and had a vision that made even seasoned pros take notice. The kind of talent every big club dreams of, especially Liverpool, which was actively searching for young stars to inject some fresh energy into their squad. In fact, back in 2017, Woodburn was ranked 10th on the NXGN list, which is the football world's top 50 Wonder Kids ranking. This was a big deal, right? He was up there with the best of the best. The expectations sky high. Fans were salivating at the thought of this teenage prodigy shining for Liverpool and Wales. Everyone saw the potential for him to follow in the footsteps of great players. But, well, here's where the story takes a bit of a twist. We fast forward to today, and unfortunately, Woodburn hasn't quite lived up to those lofty expectations. Injuries, lack of consistency, and a string of loan spells that just didn't work out have kept him from finding that breakthrough moment. Sheffield United, Oxford United, Hibernian, you name it. They all seemed like the right fit, but nothing ever clicked. And now he's still chasing that form, bouncing between lower league clubs, trying to recapture the magic that once had everyone buzzing. It's a bit of a shame, really. At 23 years old, he's still young, but his career hasn't exactly taken off like many hoped. It's a classic case of what could have been. We've all seen players with massive potential struggle to get it together. Let's just hope Woodburn can turn things around and finally find a club where he can showcase his talent. Fingers crossed, eh? Malang Sarr. Now there's a name that once had the football world buzzing. Back in 2020, this guy was a standout defender at OGC Nice, showing off impressive defending skills and leadership qualities. At such a young age, he already looked like someone who could make a real mark on the big stage. Naturally, that earned him a move to Chelsea, one of the biggest clubs in the world. All eyes were on him. In fact, Sarr was ranked 3rd in the 2020 NXGN list of top young talents. Pretty impressive, right? His physicality, versatility in defense, and leadership abilities made him a perfect candidate for a top Premier League club. Chelsea fans were excited. A young, talented defender joining the squad? Yes, please. But then things got a little complicated. Instead of diving straight into the Chelsea first team, Sarr was sent on loan to FC Porto for the 2020-21 season. It made sense at the time. Give him experience, let him develop. But once he came back to Chelsea, things just didn't fall into place. His performances were inconsistent, and his opportunities at Stamford Bridge were limited. Even though Chelsea had some defensive gaps, Sarr couldn't quite grab his chance to prove himself at the highest level. And now, well, he's still at Chelsea, but you're more likely to find him on the bench than on the pitch. With Chelsea's packed defensive lineup, it's hard to see where he fits in. The question on everyone's mind is, what's next for Malang Sarr? Is he gonna get his big break, or is his time at Chelsea running out? It's a tough situation for a guy with so much potential. Ante Coric was once considered the next big thing in Croatian football. In 2016, he was ranked 7th in the NXGN list, and for good reason. As a youth prodigy at Dinamo Zagreb, he was being compared to Luka Modric. Yeah, that Luka Modric, one of the best midfielders of all time. He had all the qualities to make it big, exceptional technical skills, vision, and a flair for playmaking. Football fans everywhere thought they were watching the birth of the next superstar. His potential didn't go unnoticed, and in 2018, he made a €6 million move to AS Roma, one of Italy's top clubs. The expectations were sky high. Everyone thought he would break into one of the top leagues and start showing why he was so highly regarded. But oh boy, did things not go according to plan. Koric's time at Roma was a complete disaster. He made just 3 appearances for the club before being loaned out to various teams, desperately trying to find his form. Every time he got a chance to prove himself, something just wasn't clicking. It's like buying a brand new phone, expecting it to run smoothly, but then it starts lagging after 5 minutes. Frustrating, right? As of now, Koric is without a club, and his promising career seems to be fading into the background. It's a real shame because at one point, he was one of Europe's brightest prospects. If you ask me, it's one of the most heartbreaking what could have been stories in modern football. What do you think happened to Koric? Do you think he'll ever make a comeback? Or is his career now a lost opportunity? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Oh, and hey, if you're enjoying these insights, don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more. Mohamed Ihataren was once one of the brightest sparks in Dutch football, ranking 8th in the NXGN list in 2020. He was the guy everyone talked about. Why? Because his dribbling was silky smooth. His vision on the ball was incredible, and his ability to create chances had fans buzzing. It was like watching a magician with a football at his feet. He was flying high at PSV Eindhoven, making defenders look silly and impressing coaches all across Europe. With so much promise, it didn't take long for bigger clubs to notice him. In 2021, Juventus came knocking, securing his move to the Italian giants. Expectations were through the roof. This was the moment for Ihataren to step up and show that he could be the next big thing. But, well, things didn't quite go as planned. Unfortunately, his story took a bit of a detour. Off-the-pitch issues, including some attitude problems and struggles to adapt to life in Italy, threw a wrench into his career. And when you're at a club like Juventus, things like that don't get swept under the rug easily. After a series of loan moves, he just couldn't find a place to settle. It was like trying to fit a square peg into a round hole. Fast forward to today, and Ihataren is at Waalwijk in the Eredivisie, still hoping to get back to the level he once showed. The talent is undoubtedly there, but can he rediscover the magic that made him one of Europe's hottest young prospects? It's still up in the air. Timothy Fosu-Mensah was once tipped to be the next big thing at Manchester United, earning a spot on the NXGN list in 2017 at number 10. A versatile defender and midfielder, he had all the qualities you'd want in a future star: speed, intelligence, and the ability to play in multiple positions. In fact, his debut under Louis van Gaal at United got fans buzzing. This kid was going places. His early promise was clear. Many thought he would be a key figure for Manchester United, contributing for years to come. And it made sense. He was strong, fast, and showed incredible flexibility on the field. The kind of player you can throw into a game and know he'd adapt, no problem. His potential seemed limitless. Then the dreaded injuries started to creep in. A torn ACL here, a couple more setbacks there. Fosu-Mensah couldn't catch a break. These injuries seriously hindered his development, and even though he went on loan to clubs like Crystal Palace and Fulham, he couldn't cement a long-term spot in United's first team. It was like watching a roller coaster that started with so much excitement, but just couldn't keep the momentum going. Now at 27 years old, Fosu-Mensah is without a club. After a brief stint at Bayer Leverkusen, where his time wasn't exactly memorable, his career is at a bit of a crossroads. Can he bounce back? Can he still tap into the promise he once had? Or has it all been lost to injuries and missed opportunities? What do you think? Has Fosu-Mensah's career come to a close? Or could he still pull off a comeback? Let me know in the comments. And if you enjoyed these stories about promising footballers, don't forget to subscribe for more.